Hello guys, this is FK, and the AI wars are going global. Yeah, they are going global. Now, before we all know, except you've been living under a tech rock, we've all known that AI wars have been going on, but it has mostly been between the big US AI providers like OpenAI, Google with their Gemini models, Anthropic with their Claude models, and is there any? Yeah, they're Mistral. So Google, Anthropic, Microsoft has always been behind OpenAI. So yeah, whenever I say OpenAI, Microsoft is kind of included. So yeah, DeepSeek. DeepSeek is a new player in the game, and it has taken the AI wars from just being in the US between a couple of companies, and now it's a global issue. Now, this video, like you see, my phone is with me. I just dropped in to do this video, and because so people have been asking me to do this video, so I just want to do this video. And it's been a while we talked about anything technical on this channel, so this is a fun time. This is a fun and very good reason to talk about technical stuff. But what I'm going to be trying to do in this video is to explain what is really going on, because a lot of people are still kind of confused. Like, they're just hearing, oh, DeepSeek, oh, OpenAI, oh, something is happening, oh, stocks are falling, Nvidia this, OpenAI that, Sam Altman this. Some people don't like know what is going on or why we should even care. So that's why I'm trying to I want to make this video, and I'm even going to kind of have a balance, try to make sure there is a balance between the technicalities in this video and, you know, just making you guys understand what is really going on. So I got some talking points here, so just so that I can flow in a right order. This is not a scripted video, so I want to really flow well, and also kind of pick the event through the chronological sequence that it has been happening. So first, to make sense of all this, we first need to understand how models are trained, or how these models come about to be. You know, a lot of us just using ChatGPT. Today they tell you, oh, GPT 3.5 is out. Oh yeah, now we have GPT-4. Now we have GPT 4.0, GPT 4.0 mini. Like, what what do all these things mean? Now, these are models. These are artificial intelligence models, AI models. And they belong to a category called large language models. And this is because algorithm plus data equal model. So what creates large language models is this very powerful algorithm neural network, very powerful neural network that will feed data into, and it becomes the model. Yeah, that's the simplified version of it. You have this very powerful neural network that can take in big data and can connect the dots between big data, and you feed in the big data into it. I'm talking of data, like you hear of models with 70 billion parameters. You hear of the new DeepSeek model, I think it has 600 and something billion parameters. So imagine, those are even parameters. Those are features that are used to define the data that is inside this model. So you feed all this data into the mathematical model, and it gives you the model. It gives you the model that we interact with, the model that we can interface with. And these models are they understand natural language. They understand natural language. So you can actually speak to them as like a human being, like you've been doing with ChatGPT and all the other models, Gemini and all that. You can speak to them, and they'll give you results. So that's basically what has been going on. Now, why did I have to say that? Even in the very good way I've defined it. Data is needed to create these models. Huge amount of data. And for them to perform the way they've been performing, which is understanding a vast amount of information. Like, you can basically tell this chat about anything from relationships to coding, to designing, to even trying to tell them to design maybe like a small nuclear fission setup, like someone announced on LinkedIn recently that I was able to do. They understand almost anything, and that's why they are special. That's why they've been so powerful. They are not specialized. So imagine the amount of data it takes. Imagine you want to learn a new language. That takes a lot of data. That's just like, okay, let's say you want to learn French. That already takes a lot of data for you to be able to learn French. Now imagine learning almost every single topic in the world. Like, you can just go into any chatbot, you tell it to give you something written in PHP, it gives you in PHP. You tell it convert it to Golang, it converts it to Golang. You tell it convert it to JavaScript, it converts it to JavaScript. Now that I think of it, that was the first thing I told DeepSeek to do. I told DeepSeek to write a RAG LangChain setup. He wrote it in Python, which is the default. Then I told you to convert it to JavaScript. So they are so powerful. They understand, and you can even just go from discussing a highly technical topic like that and switch to, what do I do about my love life? I don't understand. I can't get girls, and it will start replying. It will start replying. Now imagine the amount of data it takes. So data is gold. Data is gold when it comes to this language model. So that's the data part. Then we have the training part. Like I told you, data plus algorithm equals model. Data plus algorithm equals model. Now the combination of that data and the algorithm, the neural network, or whatever model structure is being used, is the training process. The process of feeding the data into the mathematical model is the training process. And that training process is very, very resource intensive. Very resource intensive. It takes a lot of computing power to actually train even one round of data. Imagine, like I said, some of these AI models, like DeepSeek R1, has 671 billion parameters. Parameters are just the features that are used to categorize data. They are not even the data itself. They are the features that are used to categorize data. So even running all the data required through them just one time takes a lot of computing power. Now imagine you have to run it several times, because that's one of the things you do when you train models. You can run the data. There's even, I think, epoch, EPOCH, that's what they call it. A number of times you run your training data through your model, through your mathematical model. So it takes a lot of resource power, and because this process is a parallel break my teeth. It's running parallel. I would say parallelization. So this process is running parallel. So because of that, GPUs are the main processing units for training AI models. GPUs are the main processing unit. Because you wonder, why are we talking about GPUs a lot? GPUs. Yeah, because the process is a parallelized process. GPUs are the main hardware that you need to train, that you need to run this process. And that's why you've been hearing a lot about NVIDIA. Because NVIDIA creates GPUs. They are the biggest companies when it comes to, I think NVIDIA basically created the first GPU. Yeah. Graphic processing unit. They decided to focus on graphics, and then graphics were not even popular in computers. So when they came out, it was not really a popular idea. Even the company almost sank at a point. Jensen Huang, he has confessed to this several times. The company almost sank at a point. So, but later, graphics started becoming a huge part of applications, especially with the interest in gaming and all that. So NVIDIA was already a cool billion-dollar company. But with the advent of AI, oh my god, it surged. They first had a surge during the crypto boom, the crypto bubble that it seems like we are kind of going in and out of. They first had a boom because crypto mining is also a process that requires a lot of those parallelization. So GPUs are at the forefront of the hardware, and NVIDIA made a lot of money from that too. They made a whole lot of money because people are using them to mine crypto. But crypto has always been some sort of ethical. It has been the borderline of ethics. So yeah, while they sold a lot of GPUs, it wasn't this celebrated. And then came AI, and like I told you, we need GPUs for AI. So all these companies have been fighting. All these companies are OpenAI, Google with their Gemini models, Anthropic with their Claude models, Mistral, and all these other companies, even become like Midjourney that are just like focused on image generation and stuff like that. Everybody is buying GPUs from NVIDIA because NVIDIA offers the best GPUs. Everybody is buying GPUs from NVIDIA, they are investing billions. So because of the AI wars between them, because AI seems to be like the next thing. It's like when the internet came about, the AI seems to be like the next big technological revolution, and every company recognizes that, and they're investing billions in it. Yeah, Zuckerberg quickly shifted his focus from metaverse that wasn't working anyway, straight into AI. So they started purchasing a lot of GPUs from NVIDIA, making their stocks go up. NVIDIA stocks were going up, other companies' stocks were going up based on all the investment into AI. A lot of investors were just pouring money into AI, So stocks were just green everywhere. So as this was going on, the companies definitely started churning out newer models, better models, newer models, better models. And around last year, OpenAI came up with this model because OpenAI is under pressure to bring AGI, artificial general intelligence. So everybody is just waiting for, oh yeah, well, we've seen all these cute models that you have and what they can do and all their limitations, but this thing is not really going to make sense. All these investments are not going to make sense until we achieve AGI, and that's even what they've used to command a lot of investment. Just the promise of AGI. So to just calm the nerves of people, OpenAI released a model last year called O1. They released the O1 model, and this model was sold to be able to think. It thinks. They tell, oh, it thinks, it reasons, and because it can reason, it has the ability to solve, all these complex problems that all those cute models that we've been having so far, 3.4, 3.5, 4, Gemini with their Gemini Pro, Gemini 1.5 Flash, and Gemini 1.5 Pro. All those problems that they can solve, all those complex problems, all those complex mathematical problems, all those complex scientific problems, probably in the production of vaccines and stuff like that, this model can now do that. It can reason, I think someone, they said at PhD level reasoning. And it came out and everybody was just blown away. Even though I felt the whole reasoning process was kind of a way for OpenAI to sell latency to us. Like that was marketing genius. Anyway, so they said it can think. That was it. Think. It can think. And now, so all that was cool, because we were hearing a lot of promises of AI and all that. All that was cool. They then said, oh, this model is so advanced, it will cost $200 per month. $200 per month. OpenAI had a paid tier. I think Plus, that's what they call it, or something. Yeah, the paid tier. I was on it for like almost a year before I switched to Gemini because it kept crashing. I don't know. ChatGPT crashes a lot. I don't like that. And Gemini, even the free version was always responsive. So I just switched to Gemini. But I used GPT-4 for a while. So they came out with this, and that was $20. Then the paid version of OpenAI was $20. So they came out with this reasoning model O1, and they told us it is so powerful, it will cost $200. It will cost $200. Okay. Some big boys started jumping on. Some jumped on just to test it, but some people, I remember the owner of HubSpot was one of the first people that I saw that I said, oh, I've jumped on, I've tested it, oh, I love it, it can do this, can do that. And it was getting like good people, the people that were using it, people that paid $200 were using it and giving good feedback. And even it got to a time some people were like feeling left out, like, oh, this is kind of creating a disparity between the rich and the poor. The rich gets to use the better models and do better things with their life, and the poor, like, there was even one guy that started like you had a rant on LinkedIn about how countries like Africa are being secluded with that kind of pricing and all. Anyway, all that, it felt like this very shiny, wonderful thing. And even some people came from the energy angle, arguing against it from the energy angle, that it cost a lot of energy to run that model, and even like a single query costs enough to power a village for one night or something like that. So there were just different sides, but it was shining bright as the most powerful model, the model that can think, that can reason. And even behind that, when OpenAI did their 12 days of OpenAI, that was at Christmas period, they hinted O3, and people even were like, oh, O3 is basically AGI. Oh, as AGI come, is it? So OpenAI was at the forefront of everything when it comes to the newest models. And this is funny now in retrospect. Just a few days or a few weeks before DeepSeek came out, Sam Altman came out and said that on the O1 model that they're currently charging $200 for, that they're actually losing money. That they're actually losing money, that it's costing a lot to run, it costs a lot to process, and right now they are even losing money at that 200. And it felt very noble, and people were even giving them so much business praise and talking about how they are so focused on the long term and all that, and can still offer us these models now, even though they are not making any money. And Sam Altman continued as a crown prince of the AI revolution. Then I think the peak of everything before everything deeply sank. The peak of everything was now when Trump came in. So Trump was elected as president. Trump came in and, hit the ground running. Trump way. Just started doing a bunch of things, right or wrong. It was just easy the ground running. And apparently, AI was one of the focus of was going to be one of the focus of the Trump administration. And it's so crazy to think that all this was just like 2 weeks ago. AI was going to be one of the focus of Trump administration. That's why you see all the seats that were supposed to be for governors and everything in his inauguration were given to the tech bros, Sam Altman, Sundar Pichai, and Elon Musk, Zuckerberg and his wife and all that. So, because tech was, and for me that was even exciting because, I would love a tech-focused government and all that. So Trump came out with the CEO of SoftBank, came out with Larry Ellison, the owner of Oracle, and Sam Altman, to announce Stargate. Remember when I told you that you need a lot of infrastructure to train AI models and build them? Yeah. Come out with Stargate. And Stargate was going to be a $500 billion project. $500 billion infrastructure project to develop AI models. Like, that's the biggest. Yeah, like someone said, sometimes those figures don't even feel real. $500 billion. They were going to build power plants. They were going to build a lot of data centers and all sort of stuff. And it was like a pinnacle. I could imagine how excited Sam Altman was have been at the back of his mind with that government focus. And we know with the old Elon Musk, he and Elon Musk have been having their trade-offs towards the Trump presidency, and Trump just coming out and actually leaving Elon Musk out of Stargate. And Sam Altman being one of the top 3 faces of it. And that's why you saw Elon Musk was attacking Sam Altman on Twitter after that. I tried to talk about the credibility of them having the $500 billion. But that's by the way. So $500 billion. $500 billion. All this will come together now. You see why I had to explain all those jargons at the beginning. $500 billion. And just days after that, China, a company in China, started by someone that was, I think it was, was he an investment banker or something? He was in the finance industry. He wasn't even a tech guy. Launched DeepSeek. Okay, they launched DeepSeek. But what? So, yeah, there are different AI models. People have been launching stuff and trying to be competitors, but we all know who the main guys are. Google, OpenAI, and Anthropic. Launched DeepSeek. And suddenly, all this craze started. Now, what caused the whole craze? DeepSeek, number 1, was as powerful as O1. Remember that O1 I told you about? DeepSeek was as powerful as O1. In fact, on some benchmarks, it was more powerful than O1. Yeah, like maths, I think. Yeah, maths. It was more powerful than. So someone said, Chinese math supremacy continues. It was better at maths and some other benchmarks. And there are a couple of other benchmarks that O1 beats it, but DeepSeek was like one along. So that's the first thing. It was as powerful as O1 and sometimes better. Number 2, it was released for free. For free. Remember how Sam Altman said they're even losing money by giving O1 out for $200. DeepSeek was free. That was the second nail in the coffin. The final nail in the coffin is that the DeepSeek company said the model was developed with $5.5 million. $5.5 million. The Anthropic CEO came out just days before that to come and say that to train the simplest models cost $500 million to $1 billion. So imagine what Sam Altman would claim that O1 was probably $10 billion or $5 billion to train O1. And these guys came out and said, you know what? This model that is as powerful as O1, we trained it for only roughly $6 million. $6 million. And everything went out, like everything just scattered. Like, are you being serious right now? And some people looked into it, and they so that they claim that they use a software process. So they optimize the software process of training the model instead of trying to get powerful hardware. They just optimized the training process. Okay. Stocks nosedived. Because investors started questioning the credibility of people like OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic that have always claimed that they need these billions of dollars and these powerful hardware to run it. And also, do we really need those NVIDIA GPUs? Because this came from China. The US has already banned China from getting GPUs. So they can't get the latest and best GPUs. And DeepSeek even said that they trained it with older models of NVIDIA GPUs. Like, so why are we giving you all this money? That's why the stock nosedived. NVIDIA alone had 16% drop. 16%, representing $500 million. Just imagine that. $500 million. NVIDIA is capped at currently, let's say, 3.something trillion, because at one point they were fluctuating between the most of the top capped company or whatever. They lost 500 million of that. They've bounced back since then, but I'll get to that later. So, then before you know it, everybody started flooding to DeepSeek. Everybody started. You see, USA thought TikTok was their problem when it comes to data privacy. They thought TikTok was their problem, and all that dance was done for almost throughout the Biden presidency and even the past 1 year. And we saw what happened when TikTok went off for just a couple of hours and had to come back. They thought that was their biggest problem with data privacy. As DeepSeek came out, everybody flooded to DeepSeek. Everybody. It became the top application on app stores in the US. In Europe, I think it was only one particular country or so that it was second. It was just top everywhere. Top everywhere. But it was getting a DeepSeek account. Even I got a DeepSeek account. I got a DeepSeek account because, wow, I've not tried O1 before. And there's a model that's as powerful as O1. Ping, I got a DeepSeek account. We're playing with it since then. So, that is the whole craze that's been going on. Because how would you... It's just like finding out that Lamborghinis cost $15. How are you going to stop people from going to buy one? You can't. People would literally trample on each other to buy one. Just finding out that Lamborghinis cost $15. And that is the whole DeepSeek saga that's been going on. So, since that happened, they said Meta, they've gone into a war room. they need to understand what's going on. They've created a war room. They need to understand what's going on. I don't even know what's going on with Sam Altman, but with what is coming out now, I think I kind of know his strategy. Then Google still doing their thing. Sundar will always be chill about everything for some reason. So everyone is falling into DeepSeek. And I think 2 days after DeepSeek just assumed ultimate supremacy, they recorded so many cyber attacks. Like, cyber attacks were just flowing in. Cyber attacks, and why not? You are fighting with the biggest and the baddest guys in the yard. Cyber attacks were flowing in, and at the point they had to like put a pause on registering new accounts because people were like DDoSing them like mad and trying all sort of ways to get in. And then there was this the first 2 days that DeepSeek was all out and everything. People were just all over, like my LinkedIn. I almost muted the word DeepSeek because everywhere DeepSeek. The people were even using that as bait to get this. Some people were even making jokes about I want to see anything DeepSeek now. People are just going to jump on him. So people, but 90% of it was all praise for DeepSeek and just questioning the whole supremacy that the big AI companies have been claiming. And where their integrity stands. But then, after those 2 days, the conversation kind of flipped. And everybody started talking about, privacy. Oh yeah, DeepSeek is exposing this. DeepSeek, if you go and check their terms and conditions, they said a couple of it is true. When you go and check their terms and conditions, they said they're going to actually take your data, take your keystrokes, take this, take that, and all that. So the narrative just changed. It almost felt as if it was sponsored. Like that very day, everywhere, everybody talking about privacy, everybody talking about how they can steal your data and stuff like that. People even started showing exposed keys, exposed credentials. Oh, people doing anything with DeepSeek. A lot of things are in plain text. Credentials are being exposed and stuff like that. So a lot of privacy flaws. People saying, oh, no, it's not a side project. It's actually owned by a big company. Oh, the claim of 5.5 million is actually not true. That's what they used to train this. They still use these GPUs. It still costs this much and all that. It was, like I said, it felt sponsored. It feels like, and come on, it's probably like a publicity spin. Big companies are going to put a spin on it. I feel some of it is a publicity spin, while some of it might just be genuine people who are concerned about privacy, and we don't know where that stands now. But it felt like so direct and calculated. But yeah, there's definitely some truth to that. And then OpenAI came out with their bold claim, yesterday, and they said that DeepSeek was trained with their own model. That DeepSeek was trained with their own model, and that violates one of their terms and conditions. They claim that DeepSeek was trained by a process called distillation, model distillation on OpenAI data. Now, what is distillation? Let me try and explain, see how I can explain it, because at first I didn't really get it myself, and then later I'll figure it out. So here's distillation. Distillation is more like sitting next to a smart guy in the exam hall. Sitting next to a smart guy, and he has his papers, and you have your papers. You have your paper, and when you see a question, you ask him, "What did you pick for number 5?" Tell you A. Okay. What do you pick for number 7? D. Right, D. And all that. So you get the smart guy is beside you, and you're asking him, "What did you pick for this number?" You write it down. You write it down. Right? So when you go out of the exam hall, and your friends are like, "Oh, how was the paper?" "Oh, yeah, the paper was great. The paper was awesome." And your friends are asking you, "What did you pick for number 5?" You're like, "Oh, I picked A." "Oh, you picked A." "I picked A too." Yeah. "What did you pick for number 7?" "D." "Oh, I picked D." Let's check it. It's correct. D. And you, but what you just did is that you asked this very smart guy a bunch of questions, mastered his answers, so that when anybody asks you, you know what to answer them. And to them, you're a smart person. To them, you're a smart person. So that's how distillation works. It's more like a student model, small student model learning from a big model. So what they claimed DeepSeek did is that DeepSeek generated a bunch of questions, a whole lot of questions. Fed it into the OpenAI O1 model, extracted the answers, and used it to train their own model. So at the end of the day, their model feels, looks, and is as smart as the OpenAI models. That's how distillation works. And distillation itself is not a crime. It's just one of the processes. Like I said, it's a student learning from a teacher and all that. So, but OpenAI claims that in their terms and conditions, in their terms and conditions, is against their rules. It's against their rules. So if you did it with their model, because in their terms and conditions, they stated that you cannot use such processes to create a competing product. That's how specific. You can't use it. You can do it. You can use it on your own private, but you can't use it to create a community product, because DeepSeek is not only free. You can actually host it locally. You don't even need to use it online. And most people are even advising that you use it locally. Like you can use like the 7 billion parameter and all the smaller parameter versions locally. But if you want to use the very big one, it's not even that compute intensive. It is a little bit because one guy had to stack like 7 Mac Minis to run it. But it still shows that it can run on consumer grade hardware. On consumer grade hardware, you don't need all these big data centers to run it and everything. You have a very mega system very powerful thing that you've rigged up in your Frankenstein system that you've rigged up in your house. You can run it. You can run it there. I think Dave's garage even, I think it's running. I don't know but I think it's running the 7.6 billion parameter version 2. So that's where we are now. That's where, as of this day, that's where we are now. And there are two sides. There's two sides to this now. There's the people that are defending OpenAI. Yeah, it's against their terms and conditions. You can't do this. It's more like stealing and everything, because OpenAI is just kind of claiming theft, kind of. And there are other people on the other side claiming, wow, this is like the kettle calling the pot black. Didn't you people scrape all the data on the internet? What, you forgot when Washington Post sued you? Forgot one New York Times sued you? That didn't you guys scrape videos? I remember the awkward Mira Mirati. Is that her name? Mira Mirati? I forgot it. Mira Mirati, when she was the CTO of OpenAI, when she was asked if they trained Sora on YouTube videos, and she was just masterfully dodging that question. Masterfully dodging. In fact, the thing became a meme. So there are people on this side claiming, yeah, you can't do this. This is US property, this is US IP, and all that. You can steal from OpenAI and all that, and claiming that it's in the terms and conditions, and this is wrong. And there are people on the other side like, hey, you guys are stealing from everybody. So when you steal from everybody, it's okay, but when someone steals from you, it's okay. Like, it's wonderful. I think I've also heard it from the Daily Show guy, and he was like, OpenAI is the first AI to lose its job to AI. It's not even about human beings losing their jobs to AI. AI is now losing their jobs to AI. And like I said, that's where we are now. On one side, some people are claiming that OpenAI is right to protect their IP, and on the other side, some people are like, nah, this is John Stewart. Yeah, John Stewart. Yeah. So on the other side, people are like, this is highly hypocritical. You guys steal from everybody. Like, look at Google overview. You go on Google now, you type in a query, and Google will just give you an AI generated result first that covers like half of the screen already. People cannot go to the websites that Google trained on to produce these answers. Google is pushing those websites down. Before you know, you go to Google, you query something, and then they give you a link, you click, and those people get traffic. That's the unofficial social contract between Google and the websites that they scrape. But now, Google is still using the information from all those blogs. Imagine you took your time to write all these articles, to do all this research and everything, and this company just scrapes it and they use it to provide their product, which they charge for. So we don't know which side is going to win, but interesting times ahead. And if there's one thing that has come out of this DeepSeek saga, it's just shown that there is a way that AI can still be done efficiently, and in a way that it would be affordable for people. Even the most powerful models can become affordable for people to use. And I think that's kind of been China's way. That's always been China's way. Remember when phones were super expensive and then all these techno phones came and all that? That's always been China's way. Getting you the great features from the big and expensive product closer to people that most likely can't afford that. And yeah, interesting times. So yeah, that's my breakdown. Like I said, it's not really a take. I just want for the confused. I want to break this out for the confused. And till I see another video, probably covering this or just our regular videos, I remain your bro in tech, FK.